Greetings fellow gamers, I'm the Soulsborne Seeker and I'm back with a new video showcasing 13 upcoming indie Metroidvania games you probably haven't heard of, expected to release sometime in 2024 or later. Before we start, as always, a kind reminder to please consider subscribing to the channel if you end up enjoying this content, since it will help me reach even more people and spread the knowledge far and wide. And now, without further ado, let's dive into it. We begin our journey with Guns of Fury, an action platformer Metroidvania that draws inspiration from the run-and-gun genre. In a future where the world is in the midst of an energy crisis, a famous scientist called Dr. Klaus announces a solution known as the Tetra Cell, a discovery with incredible energy-producing capabilities that could potentially save mankind. Hours after this announcement, Dr. Klaus mysteriously disappears and his lab is destroyed, with all eyes falling on industrialist A. Easton as the main suspect, who is believed to want the Tetra Cell to create a new superweapon. You assume the role of Vincent Fury, a special operative who is tasked with infiltrating the top-secret research facility of Easton Industries in order to find Dr. Klaus and reclaim the Tetra Cell. To that end, you will be able to utilize a wide array of weapons and abilities to both take down your foes as well as explore the vast, interconnected map, which features a large variety of secrets to discover as well as destructible environments to cause some mayhem. Guns of Fury boasts hundreds of unique items to find, including guns, knives, and accessories, many of which you will be able to obtain from various merchants that populate the setting. The game will also feature multiple endings, thus benefiting from repeated playthroughs. Guns of Fury is expected to come out sometime in 2024 and has been confirmed for PC and Nintendo Switch. Next comes BLIGHTWRECK, a Metroidvania game influenced by the Metroid side of the genre. You don the diving suit of the seemingly sole survivor of the Star Chaser, an ocean liner that sunk at the bottom of the sea under mysterious circumstances. Trapped in the bowels of the ocean, you embark on a desperate journey to find any remaining survivors and escape, in the process realizing that the ship is now infested by swarms of underwater creatures that are looking to make you their next meal. Your ordeal will pit you against horrifying bosses such as a colossal crab and giant squid, but also give you the opportunity to discover helpful upgrades that you will be able to use in order to escape this nightmare and reach the surface. Of special note here is the soundtrack, which is comprised of tracks influenced by 90s electronic music. BLIGHTWRECK is expected to come out sometime in 2025 and has been confirmed for PC. Following, we have Bloody Hell 2, a bullet hell Metroidvania title that acts as a sequel to the critically acclaimed Bloody Hell, a free Metroidvania game which I will link in the description below. God has vanished and his absence has left heaven into disarray as angels are in distress over their missing father. You brandish the large demonic hammer of a small angel who descends into hell in order to obliterate his way to the truth of God's disappearance and restore order to his home. True to its bullet hell sensibilities, Bloody Hell 2 will have you smash your way through legions of enemies while dodging an insane amount of projectiles shot at you and foes trying to pile up on your tiny frame. Thankfully, hell will be littered with hidden upgrades and abilities that will make your life easier when taking down its fiends, which is great since the game encourages an aggressive approach considering that in order for you to heal, you literally need to drink the blood of your fallen enemies. Bloody Hell 2 has no release date as of yet, but has been confirmed for PC. Moving on, there's Echo, the Oracle's Scroll, a Metroidvania that abandons combat in favor of exploration and platforming puzzles. In the past, a terrifying blight petrified everything on the world's surface, forcing people to migrate underground for survival. You are a human that lives in the kingdom of Bottom Rock, who, after a twist of fate, is handed a scroll which could contain the realm's salvation and tasked with delivering it to the archives after first getting permission from the monarchs of each kingdom. The game shies completely away from battle and instead has you overcome a series of increasingly difficult jumping conundrums, making it ideal for anyone who loves difficult platforming, especially considering that its world will be comprised of about 300 rooms to travel through and explore. Echo, the Oracle's Scroll has been confirmed for PC and is expected to come out on the 10th of September 2024, at which point it will become available not on Steam but on the Playdate catalog, the link for which I will include in the description below.
I'm Cybrid, a human with an artificially grown body and restored personality of another once-living person.
Farther down the path we have FLASHLOOP, a twin-stick shooter Metroidvania game situated within the genre of science fiction. In a world where artificial intelligence has taken control of humanity, you step into the boots of Cybrid, a human flash drive whose spaceship is shot down and crash lands on an unknown planet full of aggressive creatures. Stranded, alone and hunted, Cybrid embarks on a perilous journey to discover who shot him down, in the process discovering the truth behind the strange planet's existence. That being said, he will definitely not be easy prey given the large number of armaments at his disposal, including an automatic blaster, a ray gun, grenades, as well as a variety of different abilities and equipment he will acquire along the way. FLASHLOOP goes for a cinematic approach in its presentation and attempts to convey a deeply engaging narrative while at the same time offering exciting battle sequences that are further enhanced by crisp controls and carefully considered level design. FLASHLOOP is expected to come out sometime in 2027 and has been confirmed for PC.
Prepare for a hard landing.
Going onwards, there's Creatures of War, a survival horror side-scrolling shooter game with strong Metroidvania elements and a Jurassic theme. Something strange is happening on Coverest Island, a remote landmass somewhere in the Gulf of Tirana. A Delta squad is sent to investigate but soon goes missing. You are Mike Ludwig, a soldier tasked with infiltrating the isle and figuring out what happened to the lost soldiers, at the same time doing your best to unravel the mystery of this place, which soon begins to bear its prehistoric fangs at you in the form of horrifying dinosaurs and grotesque experiments. The world of the game is divided into 5 separate stages that constitute its biomes. The Metroidvania aspect comes into play once you unlock the fast travel system in the form of a tram that allows you to revisit each stage at will and backtrack in order to reach previously inaccessible areas via the use of new gear or specialty items you have acquired on your journey. To top it all off, Creatures of War features an expansive variety of weapons to use, from pistols, shotguns and automatic rifles all the way to grenade launchers, as well as accessories to equip, such as night vision goggles that will allow you to navigate dark areas. Creatures of War is expected to come out on the 23rd of October 2024 and has been confirmed for PC. Continuing our voyage, there's Fold Stories, a Metroidvania experience with a strong emphasis on serene exploration devoid of conflict. Here you take the form of a small paper, wandering endlessly across an origami world in search of knowledge and meaning. Your journey will take you across wondrously odd places and have you meet the many rare animals that inhabit this place as you try to piece together your story, in the process evolving both in shape as well as perspective. What's interesting here is how Fold Stories approaches ability-gated exploration while staying true to its thematic approach of the origami concept. Essentially, the paper learns how to fold in the shapes of different animals in order to access previously unreachable places. For example, by learning how to become a bat and fly, or a rabbit that can run, dig and jump. It is of note that the game is meant to be an introspective, pacifistic experience, meaning that if you're looking for combat, you'll find none of it here. Fold Stories has no release date as of yet, but has been confirmed for PC. A bit beyond, there's Randomice, a fusion of Metroidvania and roguelite that focuses on exploration while steering clear of combat. Randomice places you in the role of a mouse that is trying to escape a house and reach the outside world. Each playthrough is meant to be a compact Metroidvania experience where you need to find different pieces of equipment such as a lighter, a grappling magnet or a small rocket, among others, which will allow you to open up new areas in the home. The roguelite aspect is introduced in the form of procedural generation for the house household, which means that the map will be different every time you attempt a new playthrough, as well as random items, meaning that you won't be finding the same items in the same locations every time. The game is meant to test your platforming skills as well as mental mapping ability given the randomness of the setting. It is of note that Randomice also features a multiplayer race mode, in which you go up against other players as you each attempt to escape the house as fast as possible by using the same map configuration, though exactly how that works is not entirely clear right now. Randomice is expected to come out sometime in 2024 and has been confirmed for PC. Over yonder we find Undivine, a dark fantasy Metroidvania game focusing on player freedom and non-linear exploration. You are a man known as the Traveler, and you arrive at the outskirts of a desolate village that's plagued by a gaping hole that opened suddenly at its center, swallowing most of the villagers into its depths. Armed with your sword and your courage, you decide to venture down into the chasm in order to find its cause. Undivine offers you a huge variety in terms of items that you will use in order to survive the hostile biomes lurking beneath the abyss, including swords, armors, accessories, as well as relics, the latter of which are mystical artifacts that enhance your combat capabilities. There's also a talent tree that allows you to improve your skills in a diverse range of specialties, including alchemy, demonology, and cartography, among others. However, perhaps the most appealing aspect of the game is the freedom it offers the player when it comes to exploring its world, which happens in non-linear fashion. What that means is that there is no right or wrong way to go about discovering this underground setting, with your progress being entirely dependent on which place you wish to visit first. You don't even have to acquire every single ability in order to reach the end of the game, with the majority of the content Undivine has to offer being entirely optional. Undivine has no release date as of yet, but has been confirmed for PC. Then comes The Throne, a medieval Metroidvania title that's all about exciting combat and exploration. Your kingdom was betrayed by one of its protectors, legendary Commander Gaben, who allowed an army of orcs to attack and conquer the royal castle under the leadership of the powerful and evil orc leader Bodrak. With sword and shield in hand, you, Eder, are the last hope of this realm and are tasked with taking down Bodrak and his minions in order to restore peace. Thus, your quest leads you into the labyrinthine castle in search of the key that will allow you to access the throne room and end this nightmare once and for all. On your journey, you will recover pieces of your magical equipment, which will allow you to access new sections of the fortress, as well as defeat and loot enemies in search of stronger weapons that will help you to take on increasingly powerful foes and fearsome bosses. In true hero fashion, you will also get the chance to release unfortunate prisoners hidden throughout the setting, who will provide valuable rewards in exchange for their freedom. Additionally, a merchant will be present for you to spend your hard-earned gold in exchange for useful equipment. Combat aside, you'll also get the chance to engage in some treacherous platforming, given that the invaders have made sure to lay traps and create dangerous obstacles all across the castle to keep you from reaching your goal. The Throne is expected to come out on the 31st of August 2024 and has been confirmed for PC. Third from the end, we have Super Roboy, a science fiction Metroidvania featuring exciting battles, challenging platforming, as well as an emotional narrative. Set in a post-apocalyptic world that has been overtaken by robots and mutants, you embody a young robot searching for his missing father. While your path won't be an easy one, you definitely have what it takes to survive, since your main advantage is your ability to adapt and learn enemy skills, which essentially allows you to acquire movement upgrades and different weapons from defeated foes. Exploration is also something that is encouraged, with those daring to venture off the beaten path being rewarded with additional upgrades that will make the journey easier. It is of note that the game places significant emphasis on its story, which is mainly conveyed through comic book cutscenes and is largely inspired by timeless classics like Dante's Inferno as well as popular science fiction novels. Super Roboy is expected to come out sometime in the first quarter of 2025 and has been confirmed for PC.
Is the son liable for his father's sins? Not to my knowledge. He isn't. Guilt should not be hereditary. Nevertheless,
Nearing the finale, there is Rise Achlys, an unholy fusion of Metroidvania, Souls-like and roguelite elements, all presented in a package reminiscent of the Castlevania series. Here you'll embody Achlys, a young half-human, half-vampire that goes on a quest for vengeance after his foster family gets brutally murdered by his real father, who is none other than Dracula himself. With the help of Dr. Frankenstein and his time machine, you will get to travel across many different eras and biomes as you pursue your parent to avenge your loved ones. Being the son of Dracula, you will have a variety of different skills at your disposal, including the ability to shapeshift into 3 different animals, namely a bat, a wolf, and a rat, each one with different offensive, defensive, and exploratory capabilities, as well as a vast skill tree that will allow you to shape your character according to your own preferred playstyle. The game also features a rhythm mechanic you can activate that allows you to unleash an endless stream of combos by coordinating your attacks in perfect sync, which can be a double-edged blade since, if done correctly, it will decimate your foes, but if not, your stamina will drain incredibly fast and will leave you defenseless against your father's minions. I'm still not entirely sure where the roguelite element comes into play, but based on my research, it probably has something to do with a time machine and your ability to traverse different eras in time. Rise of Achlys has no release date as of yet, but has been confirmed for PC.
Don't let the calm exterior fool you. Under the surface, this place is so twisted, no hero could ever save it.
Before we get to the final game, I do wish to make an honorable mention of a recently revealed title that has not been confirmed to be a Metroidvania but looks so magnificent that I believe fans of the genre will enjoy it regardless, and that is none other than the eternal life of Goldman. Somewhere in the archipelago there exists a cluster of dangerous islands that are home to a deity that no one has ever seen but people want dead. You wield the cane of an old man who arrives at the archipelago in order to kill the deity, in the process discovering a world marked by tragedy. The game places a lot of emphasis on truly challenging platforming as well as exploration, with your cane receiving several ability upgrades along the journey that will allow you to tackle even more difficult obstacles and reach previously inaccessible areas. The reason why the title's Metroidvania credentials are questioned is because the developers have stated that no backtracking will be present in the game despite the new abilities that allow more in-depth exploration, so we will have to wait and see how everything plays out. It goes without saying, but of special note here are the game's visuals, with sublime and fluid animations that are a joy to the eyes, as well as its exciting and haunting music, both of which have already won the hearts of many a gamer. The Eternal Life of Goldman has no release date as of yet, but has been confirmed for PC, PS5, Nintendo Switch, as well as the Xbox Series X and Series S.
Dr. Gilbert says the people we have feelings for can never really leave us. Is that true?
It sure is.
Is hate a feeling?
It sure is.
Finally, we have Skydust, an action Metroidvania game with cyberpunk sensibilities. The story transpires in a future where society has collapsed following a mysterious global disaster, resulting in a world where morality and ethics have been compromised. Data trafficking has now become a very lucrative business, which is mainly carried out by mercenaries, powerful individuals that get paid to get things done. You take on the mantle of one such mercenary, who embarks on a journey that will end up being incredibly transformative both for him as well as the world around him. A very interesting element of Skydust is the presence of the cyberverse. Essentially, the game's setting is divided into the real world and the digital world, with your character having different skill trees and capabilities depending on which realm he's experiencing at any given moment. There is also a central hub that allows you to upgrade the protagonist by using the money you are collecting throughout the adventure. Skydust has no release date as of yet, but has been confirmed for PC. What did you think of these games? Did you already know about them? Are you planning to try any of them out? Let me know in the comments below and feel free to point out any obscure titles you may have come across. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, Soulsborne Seeker out!